Hello everyone and welcome to Game 2 of
Dire
Goomba
Team
versus
Bad.
Next.kz. This is for the joinDOTA League Season 2 Europe Region Division 1, and this is a two-game series for the round-robin group stages. The last game we saw on the back of a very farmed Shadow Fiend and an incredible play on the Witch
Radiant
Doctor
Team
and
Bad.
Clockwork. X-Game took a very convincing Game 1, so let's see what they try to do in Game 2. I'm once again not alone. I am joined by my co-caster Don Horatio. How you doing, friend?
Dire Team pick.
Doing good. Last game was pretty entertaining. I don't know, Shadow Fiend's just ridiculously good, and I think more teams should use him. He's already used pretty frequently, but I don't know if people realize truly how strong he is on that Radiant side, because, I mean, he got killed mid lane, right? Yeah, he certainly did. And he was able to catch up in the jungle because he's Shadow Fiend, and, well, I don't know. People should take advantage of that more often. I think he's just really, really strong. But anyway, X game, we'll grab an Invoker this game, and I do like Invoker games.
Yeah, I do like Invoker games as well. As long as it's not like Exort, Necro, Split Push, Invoker. I mean, but even then, you don't have like the flashy plays with the tornadoes and the
10
meatballs
seconds
and
remaining.
all that stuff, the ice walls as well, just spamming lots of spells. At the very least, you have the
5
excitement
seconds
factor of,
remaining.
is the Sunstrike going to land? So that's really cool. And Invoker just,
Reserve time.
as long as he's able to get 2 spells invoked at level 3, he's going to be one of the most powerful heroes in the
Dire
game. Just
team
because
pick.
he's already really good, especially late in the game. He's arguably the strongest hero as far as his growth between level 17 and 25. And on top of it, he's a strong laner, as long as he doesn't die at level 1. So.
Yeah, and, well, we see Goomba, they go for the Darkseer Shadow Demon, and Shadow Demon kind of a deny pick in a way, but also strong support in its own right, but they just really don't want to deal with Soul Catcher
10
Sunstrike,
seconds
which
remaining.
is, that's a lot of pain, basically. It doesn't matter who you are, you'll get absolutely wrecked if you
5
get caught in one of
seconds
those
remaining.
more than a couple minutes into the game. And Darkseer just a solid all-around hero, versatile, can put him in a lot of places, and generally finds his farm irregardless of how the game starts off eventually.
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing is, the offlaners that really have the highest stacks are the ones that, stocks. I was thinking of stacks because I was about to talk about the jungle, but are going to be the offlaners that are going to have the plan B, where they can just go
Dire
and stack
Team
and farm the
Bad.
jungle, such as Batrider, such as Darkseer as well. Batrider was banned out this game, so X game instead, they're going to go for another strong laner in the Nyx Assassin. I want to mention also about Nyx is, like, I knew why he was strong in the offlane, just with the
Radiant
poor man
Team
shield in his
Bad.
region. But I just hadn't played him offlane, but you do, and you feel invincible. They
Yeah,
hit you,
playing
and you
it
almost
at
regen
the-
all your health right away, especially with the poor man shield with the 100% proc chance to block hero attacks. It's absolutely absurd, and you always
Dire
get
Team
experience.
banned.
Nothing feels quite as ridiculous as that health regen. It is actually absurd. It's just it's ridiculous. There's no other way to put it. And, well, in this game, I do like mana burn a lot against Darkseer. It's just capacity for a ton of damage, and Shadow Demon to a slightly
10
lesser
seconds
extent, but
remaining.
eventually it'll do work as well. And just absolutely blowing up Shadow Demon with a Vendetta
5
before he can
seconds
disrupt
remaining.
or anything is pretty good as well. So I like this pick against the heroes that Goomba has.
Reserve time.
Yeah, also Goomba putting a lot of respect towards the Tidehunter. X game didn't play it last game, but they actually go ahead and ban out the Dire side Tidehunter. I mean, yeah, it was underwhelming in the last game, but he was playing on the back foot, and playing support Tide, as we saw, has those struggles just because he really needs those items.
Radiant Team
But
banned.
I really think that ban could have probably been better spent.
It's, I don't know, they ban out 2
Radiant
team
Team
fight
pick.
controllers, the 2 hero ones that actually they had last game, so apparently they just respect those heroes a lot. So I put that more onto Goomba valuing them than maybe them knowing that X game likes those heroes as well. I don't know, they just think those heroes are really good. And Troll Warlord, again.
Dire
Yep, it's going to
Team
be the
pick.
Troll Warlord for Exist. The stock of this hero is rising so much, and we saw that the ability to take fights and do really well in that last game, despite being on the back foot, was mostly because of the battle trance and as well as Troll's ability to get on the front line, do a lot of damage with the whirling axes, and he did build the Sanj and Yasha, so he was actually
Radiant
quite fast
Team
and quite
pick.
mobile as well. But X game, they're going to go ahead and pick up a Chen right away. So now the hand is kind of revealed. It's probably going to be a Quas Exort Invoker, synergized as well with the Nyx Assassin picking off with the Sunstrikes. And, you know, there's a Luna on the table, there's a Dragon Knight on the table, there's a Shadow Shaman on the table as well. So now Goomba, this is that part in the draft where you look at and you're like, oh, this is going to be
10
really
seconds
annoying to
remaining.
deal with.
Yeah, their anti-push, I mean, not great. I mean, Shadow Poison, once you get some levels in it, it's fine, but it's not like an instant, like, the wave is gone ability. You just, like, you're like, all right, well, I'll throw, I got one stack on him. All right, we'll get a second stack. Oh, we'll get these creeps eventually. We'll get them out of here, but...
Does anyone on Goomba play Enchantress?
I do not know, but, well, looks like they won't have to. Ancient Apparition, and there's not a whole lot of anti-push, other than once it gets level 6, that just shuts down pushes. But if you can't get that 6 in short order, and X Game does press the issue, they could have a bit of a problem with their Tier 1 towers being dead, but we'll have to see how strongly they do decide to press the issue.
They do have Whirling Axes, at least, and Ion Shell is a huge pain if you just stick it on one of the Chen creeps themselves, but
10 seconds remaining.
It's just still, any good Chen player is going to know when to press their advantage. They're going to get control in the lane, and he has a great supporting cast this game. And
Reserve time.
Anyone with Lockdown, Shadow Shaman is the biggest support that rings in my head because he provides a lockdown to set up all of the Chen creeps, as well the Centaur Somps, things like that, the Ursidon Collapse. And he basically has everything that Chen hasn't, but he also has the tower push with his Serpent Wards, and if he's in a dual lane, he's going to hit that level 6 really quickly. And then the same with the Luna. Chen Luna is something that Cloud9 and Alliance, just for like a month, that was all they did, and they just always won games off it because they just got so many towers so early.
Yeah, and there's really not a whole lot of potential, other than, I guess, disruption to create many, like, other minions to soak up Eclipse damage, and if they're pushing lanes, then there might be creeps as well, but Eclipse could do some real work here. They go for a Rubik, so it's going to be an off-lane accessory, as we expected, obviously, but he'll be the support to be paired up with the Chen, and I don't know, he's got some creep clear himself, so he can help him to push us a bit with the Fade Bolt. Lift's always good, and, well, if he gets early level 6, some decent spell steals as well, but we'll have to see.
All the ultimates are all very good in this game, particularly, I think, the Battle Trance. If he manages to steal the Battle Trance in the middle of a fight, well, then there goes the most of the advantage that a Troll Warlord provides you. Mm-hmm. So, also, if he does get that and kind of gets to hold on to it, then they're going to be able to take Roche pretty early as well. But the Drow Ranger are going to be, that's what Goomba is going to be fearing for the push. They don't really have a whole lot of good way to close the distance as well.
Yep, and
we'll see
what Goomba does go for. The Wraith King banned out by X Game here, and I guess that would have been a decent choice because he can just be a tanky frontline guy, let Troll try and deal the damage, I suppose. But I don't know. I'm still not a fan of the Wraith King carry, but it does win games if you get off to a good start. So I don't know. Decent
they could
ban.
just take the Luna for themselves. Yeah,
they certainly can. And with the Luna AA tri-lane, that's actually just really annoying to deal with. It's a lot of right-click damage and not a whole lot of good ways to deal with it, especially with Chen in the jungle. I mean, he can come out and help
5 seconds
at some point, but that tri-lane's going to basically rule over wherever they do end up being. But I'm trying to think what other options there are. I mean, Lifestealer could be a thing, I guess. Then that's a lot of over-reliance on melee, so maybe not him.
Lifestealer is pretty good, though, because you can always just infest one of the Chen creeps as well. But
yeah, he's really good against Nyx, and yeah, there we go. Okay, I kind of forgot about how good he is against Nyx Assassin. He just does not care about Spike Carapace, and he just kills that hero ridiculously fast. Chen is food. You can eat Chen creeps, like you said, and
the only thing
back pretty quick as well.
I worry about for Lifestealer is he's particularly vulnerable to the double Forge Spirits very early on, because his armor, his agility is just terrible, and it only takes like 3 or 4 Forge Spirits hits before Lifestealer is taking pure damage. And an Exort Invoker right-clicks pretty well. And you're going to have probably the buff ups from something such as the attack speed from a Centaur, or you're going to have maybe an Alpha Wolf if Chen decides to use one of those. So, at the very least, Lifestealer also can stay in his lane without the supports, and Shadow Demon AA can roam on the Invoker, which he's pretty susceptible to if he goes Quas Exort.
Certainly. Well, X Game, they're looking for their carry as well here. We have mentioned the Luna, obviously, is something they could go for. The Drow would have been a decent pick. Certainly would have added some more push to their lineup, and that would have helped. But other things are left. I think Luna fits the best just because Luna Chen is just such a classic combination.
Let's go all in, get a Vengeful Spirit carry. They go Weaver. Weaver does very well against Lifestealer in the later stages of the game, too.
Yeah, it works out. You don't want to let Lifestealer get ahead of you because eventually you just kind of, it's hard to man-fight a Lifestealer if he gets a lead, but if they can stay even, the Weaver should work out just fine against that Lifestealer, and against the Troll Warlord to some extent as well, because if you can just get away from the bashes and you don't have a risk of being locked down, just kite and run away, you're in pretty good shape, but just need to make sure you get ahead so you can actually kill someone while kiting at the same time. It becomes a bit difficult, and
I really like this as well because Weaver normally just kind of needs his levels more than other carries. Like, yeah, he also needs his gold, so he really wants a safe lane, but he needs his levels more than someone's like a Lunar or Anti-Mage or any of those other carries that really only need gold.
You really
so
want
being in
levels.
that dual lane is going to do him wonders.
Yeah, you really, really want level 7 as early as possible to maximize your escapability with the Shukuchi and have time lapse as well. And getting some points into the Swarm also does help out, especially if they want to take a lot of fights. Early levels in Swarm actually make a pretty big difference. And against two squishy supports like a, oh god, I can't even read names anymore, Ancient Apparition and Shadow Demon, those bugs will actually do pretty decent work if they are leveled up. So we'll see how he decides to skill his character.
Last thing before we introduce the players I want to talk about this Weaver pick is this is Weaver being picked into 2 squishy supports and 3 melee cores. So this Weaver's going to have...
It's an ideal situation.
This is an ideal situation for him, so good pick. But let's go ahead and introduce the teams. The victors of the losers of the last game, trying to make a comeback in this next game. It's going to be Nino on the Ancient Apparition, on the carry Lifestealer in the aggressive trial. It's going to be Sweater Weather, and assisting him as well is going to be Shadow Demon, played by Nier. In the solo safe lane as a Darkseer, we're going to have Chill, and going mid lane as the Troll Warlord, once again, we're going to have Exist.
Right. And on the side of X Game, heading towards the mid lane, we got Wadafaka on that Invoker, looking to follow up on a success last game on the Shadow Fiend. Weaver going to be played by Mantis this game, fittingly enough, Bugs playing Bugs. And the second bug of the team will be taken up by Stalkcat, the next assassin. Chen in the jungle, going to be played by Equal. And last but not least, Rubik in the hands of Reeves.
So what do you think about this? I mean, going aggressive tri-lane against a Chen is pretty good. What do you think about the choice to do it against this Weaver Rubik, though?
The Weaver's escapable. It's going to be hard to kill him, but if you want to kill him, you want to do it early, because before he gets more levels of Shukuchi up, if you can manage to get some lockdown on him and force him to burn Shukuchi that he doesn't want to, suddenly he doesn't have it up again for 12 seconds, so it's the best time to try and do it, and I think their tri-lane has a decent chance of getting him, but the thing is, like, their disables aren't very good. They have Disruption, which is a good lead-in, but, I mean, Open Wounds just doesn't matter against Shukuchi unless it's for some on cooldown for another reason, so I don't know, and leaving him up here, the supports really can't roam too well. Weaver against Lifestealer, I mean, Lifestealer will do okay, but he's going to have a pretty sad time if there are any levels at all in this Weaver, so we'll see how it shakes out. I think it might be a hard time finding kills. They'd be better, well, let's see if they can actually find anything here, but he does have Shukuchi, like I said, so we'll just peace out. I think it'd be easier to kill a support than the Weaver here, but I just don't know how close this lane Rubik's going to try and get.
Rubik's already stacked and pulled. He needs his levels, and I mean, like you said, I think it's going to be difficult. It looks like they're actually just going to dual lane it. They put Nino in the bottom lane. I'm not really sure about this, because Chill can do really well against a Nyx Assassin 1v1.
Yeah, this is I'm slightly confused by this. I mean, the AA wants his levels, which is why he's down here doing the pulse, because he really wants at level 6 to stop any sort of early Chen pushes and things like that, so he kind of feels like he needs to do this, but at the same time, I mean, the Radiant's trying to pull the large camp, but I mean, X Game's completely aware of this, so they're going to go ahead and try and farm some of these creeps themselves. It's a very interesting way to try and lane this, and I tend to think that the Weaver Rubik lane will come out on top in the end up here. I don't know, it's a peculiar lane setup. I'm not quite sure how it's going to turn out. With Chen rotating in, they could probably find kills in this top lane too, so I think I would favor X Game up top, but I don't know. It's interesting. It's a kind of weird laning setup. I'm curious to see how each team adjusts to it.
The other day we saw Exist actually just absolutely wrecking an Invoker with this hero. Looks like Wadafaka is not having too much trouble here, but we already see him just on the last hits, 4 for 4 against 11 for 7. So Wadafaka is going to have a bit of a tough time. He already got the early Forge Spirit up to try to help him out, but this is really the only laning circumstance that I guess we kind of predicted from the draft, aside from obviously Chen being in the jungle. Speaking of which, he's going to be going for a gank. He's wrapping around. They had a sentry ward to make sure there are no wards. Here comes the Centaur. Lift. It's going to be, who are they going to go for? They go for Nier. There's a Stomp as well, and the first blood gets drawn with the Test of Faith and the Fade Bolt from Reeves, so there's a movement from the Chen.
They stacked those stuns pretty badly, but it didn't matter. The burst damage is way too much there. The Fade Bolt, only level 1, but seeming to do way more damage than it seems like it should have, and I don't know, they just completely... Shadow Demon's just really, really squishy. If you don't have the ability to disrupt yourself, you're in a lot of trouble, and you're just going to go down. He was trying to maybe save it in case they went on the Lifestealer, I don't know, but it just didn't happen there. And like I said, this lane's just going to be really, really hard. The AA up here would help, but I'm
I
not
think
sure
they should
that
just
would
swap the Lifestealer and the Darkseer. Like, the Darkseer
Yeah.
will at least get his levels in less hits, but Sweater Weather's not. They're really throwing him to the wolves, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and the Shadow Demon up here just doesn't really help either, is the funny thing. Like, I mean, all he's really doing is taking XP for the most part. I mean, you can help with Disruption maybe, but chances are they probably still would get him. I don't know. It's not securing him any farm is basically what I'm trying to get at as I mumble around my words endlessly. But yeah, this laning setup, I think, just benefits X Games so far, and I don't know, they handled this pretty well. I mean, I don't know. I didn't know why Goomba thought this would work out.
Oh god,
to be
Rubik
perfectly
has
honest.
mana boots already?
He got the first blood, I guess.
I mean, he did.
Yeah.
But-
Now you definitely can't fight this lane. 'Cause that's
Yeah, this lane
too
just
much.
became literally impossible. Because now Rubik is going to get an extra 135 mana for Sakuchi, and he has a mana pool of 286, and he has a Ring of Basilius. You can't contest this lane anymore. You need there just needs to be a swap.
They
or
need
else
to
you're gonna-
adjust or something. I mean, throw Lifestealer in the jungle, I guess. He has a Stout Shield and the Quelling Blade, so he'd do okay with his level 3 and just let Shadow Demon, I don't know, maybe get levels or something up here, or rotate the Darkseer, like you said. But they need to make an adjustment probably at some point, or else this Lifestealer is going to have nothing, and they're going to be completely reliant on... Well, it seems similar to last game where Sweater Weather got next to nothing on his carry, and it was Exist forced to try and carry the game on the Troll and not quite able to make it in that last one. I'll have to see if it's any different this time around.
The other thing too is like the Darkseer. The trade-off to having a Darkseer farming a lane, especially in a 1v1 circumstances, an offlaner that's not normally going to get as much experience and can do a whole lot with very little, is going to get a lot just because you're going to be pushing the lane with Ion Shell, and plus the nature of a 1v1 matchup is that it's a lot easier. So keeping the Darkseer here is also enabling the mix. Really the only lane that they aren't having a great time in is mid lane with Wadafaka versus Exist. Speaking of which, Exist comes in, he had an Invis Room. Whirling Axis is there as well, but a Cold Snap quickly invoked by Wadafaka. Not to mention to give him the regen. Exist. One more right click, might be able to get him. Actually, the Forward Spirit's there, but level 1 invoke not going to be able to allow him to Sunstrike. And now there's a smoke up from the Chen and Rubik. They have a Centaur as well. They're going to be looking to gank Exist here. They know that he's been greedy with his bottle crowing, trying to stay in lane. There's a Whirling Axis, a Wadafaka goes down a little bit too late. He gets a Cold Snap as well under tower, and the Fade Bolt's going to be able to secure the kill, but there's a Centaur that's not smoked anymore, but there wouldn't just be a Centaur walking around by itself, I don't think.
Probably not. I don't know. Scouting Centaur.
By
Top
the way,
lane,
top
actually, they're
lane,
going to try and go on
whatever's being gone on, and Sakuchi does so much damage. Shadow Poison though is there. He has a stick though to give him some charges,
the bugs.
and they do clean up the Shadow Demon. Is he going to be going for it? He has a Sakuchi. He's going to go for this.
He
He has a Gemini attack as well. He gets one. He cancels the salve at the very least, so still a victory.
Yeah, and that's like, I mean, these two heroes, I mean, Shadow Demon's great for adding extra burst to a lineup. Like a lane lineup. I don't even know what the right term is, but like 2 heroes in a lane is what I'm trying to say. But Weaver he doesn't care, man. He'll just Sakuchi out, and like he has time lapse up as well now. They just don't have the burst to kill him with a disruption right now. There's just no way. So he even finds a kill there in a 1v2. So
Yep, Chen is screwed. He was farming the Radiant Jungle. He's against 3 heroes. He tries to get the courier, but he doesn't.
why would he? I don't know. That seemed like a unnecessary measure, but I guess sometimes you just gotta farm the enemy jungle. I don't know. You gotta take that shot.
Radiant's top
I mean,
tower
Enchantress
is under attack.
is a lot better at aggressive jungle than Chen just because she does have Untouchable and the nature's a tendency to keep her survivable. There is this Persuaded Troll that was going mid to try to help Exist. There is going to be a lift back. Cold Snap as well. Fade Bolt is there. The uphill misses though where Strong exists. He dodges the Sunstrike. This guy has really great presence of mind of when he's about to be hit by an ability.
Yeah, I mean, he probably also he saw that invoke go up from the invoker potentially as well. Oh, no, he already had invoke. Never mind. So I'm just completely talking out my ass here, but smart enough to dodge it, like you said. So
I mean, you
He's
see
been
the
playing
animation.
really
He like throws his arms out in front of him.
Okay. Yeah. So there is something to see. So I'm not completely just saying things that don't make any sense. But top lane, oh my god, this poor Lifestealer. Well, good luck with that.
Why is
I
the
mean,
Darkseer not just going up there? He has a Soul Ring and a Ring of Regen. He can deal with it.
Oh, mid lane. Sunstrike looks like no. It was just I don't know. Man, they just probably killed him. He's pretty low. I don't know why Exist really hung around there. Going to go for a Disruption Soul Catcher as well, but he'll follow up once again, and they'll just back off.
And he just lets Reeves steal Shadow Poison. And it's just great that Reeves is getting the opportunity. Like,
He's level 6 already. Jesus Christ.
yeah, this is the beauty of winning a dual lane circumstance like that. Is especially with like back when Lifestealer and Weaver were like the carries to play. The reason people play them so much is because they can just stay in a lane alone. They don't need to be babysat. By the way, Sweater Weather, he's gonna have to rage. He's gonna die.
He's dead. Oh, yeah. It's just they can't leave him. They need to put him somewhere else. Now that he's dead, he might take the opportunity to go somewhere else, I guess. But he's not having a fun time. His team is
under attack.
I don't know. The draft just the way they laned it, like you said, just
whoever comes back up here is dead though. But I was going to say, the reason is that they can be left alone and that let Reeves just move around the map and be very active, which is why he's just found so many levels. He's already 2-0-1. So, there's a TP coming in here from Chill. Looks like they are going to do the lane switch, but, oh, goodbye, friend. There's a Centaur Stomp, Telekinesis, Ursadon Clap, Test of Faith, right clicks as well from Rubix, and Reeves is now on a killing spree.
And I mean, the Chen's gone around, he's found kills, he's made it happen, and together with this Rubik, I mean, the lift into Centaur Stomp is one of the better early game initiations in this, just under 10 minutes, as far as just making a hero be dead right off the bat, and they've just done it expertly so far. So finding kills all over the place, gonna try and take this tier 1 tower as well.
Top tower is
Shadow Poison Stack's gonna be doing a lot. They don't actually have a catapult, so Chen gonna deny his own creep, and they're just gonna come back when there's a catapult wave in at 10 minutes.
Yep.
I believe that's when it is. Isn't there a catapult wave at every 7 waves?
I think it's every.
Radiant's
I know the first one comes. I know the first one comes at
wave is
6,
at
but I'm
4
too
minutes,
dumb
right?
to know after that. But anyway, not a. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see a catapult, and then we'll know. But yeah, and I don't know. As far as, man, I just forgot what I was gonna say. Never mind. Whoops.
Well, I don't know. And Wadafaka finishes up his Hand of Midas at 10 minutes. Not the worst in the world, especially when he only has 33 CS compared to Exist, who has 43. And 18 denies, which is absolutely absurd. Plus
Pause,
also...
please. Yeah, Rubik is connected, so they're going to figure that out here, but, well, we haven't really looked at bottom that much, other than just noticing that Sweater Weather is back, I guess. So that's good. All he has is boots and the planes of attack, so it's a rough place to be. But this Nyx Assassin has his arcane boots, and a Vendetta ready to go, so I'll probably be looking for a kill here in a couple of seconds. Has that max impale as well, so... At
least Sweater Weather's going to get a free lane now, because Nyx wants to roam, Weaver wants to farm, Invoker wants to farm, and Chen and Rubik want to be active on the map, and it's pretty easy to know where they are. And his team's pretty active. The Shadow Demon A are pretty active. Exist is going to be very active as well. But
yeah, so they really need to... They don't really have... I mean, Shadow Demon helps, but they don't have anyone obvious. Like, in the last game, there was like a Centaur and a Tidehunter, a bunch of like big disable heroes to help make space for this lifestealer, but it feels like that's a bit lacking this game. They have a bit more... They have the AAs almost level 6, so as far as like keeping them off of towers and trying to delay so that he can fight, it's a little bit better, but they don't have that like Blink Initiator like they did in the last game. So we'll have to see if he's actually able to catch up. He's a more survivable hero, which is something he's got going for him. But he's gonna have a sad time still with how far behind he is. He really can't come to fights at all until he finishes an armlet, which is... Or, well, no, he needs to finish phase boots and then an item after that, so... Never mind, I don't know. He's a sad boy, though, basically. Moral of the story, he is really sad right now.
The moral of the story is he needs a toothbrush. Alright, I'm sorry.
Alright, well, I mean, he does have really... I think it's past that point for his dental work, to be perfectly honest. I don't know if that'll help out too much, but he needs some hardcore orthodontics.
Lifestealer is just so well designed, like, as far as just what he looks like, in my opinion.
Scary dude.
As far as what he's supposed to look like and what he's supposed to be, I think he does that very well.
He's a scary bro. That's my comment. I don't know.
Showcase mode. He's not Slardar or anything.
Sardar's, dude, he's a fish dude. I love fish dudes, but...
What, do you like fish sticks?
I love fish sticks.
Oh, so you're a gay fish?
That's what they call me on the streets. But, well, so apparently Rubik has some internet issues, so Reeves trying to resolve those. And I don't know what the internet's like in Kazakhstan. I guess it's not great right now, but I'm sure they'll figure it out at some point. And well,
it's okay. We get time to enjoy hats. Also, towers. They're gonna have hats.
Tower hats. Yep. I don't know what Valve has in mind for base customization. I'm sure it's going to be underwhelming, but we'll see. I don't know. They could surprise us. Hopefully they do. I don't know, man.
Like, do I get to write something? Like, is it just going to be the base, like, you just get one hut or something?
I maybe you just get one Moonwell to decorate. I don't know, maybe. Well, I mean, they need to be careful not to like let it be too much, obviously, or else they'll just get like just literal penises for all of your buildings, which is not what Valve wants, I assume. So,
Unless they do.
well, if they do want that, then I guess they have some sort of. That's pretty weird, and I hope they don't do that. But yep. So exists to get this haste rune. It's pretty exciting.
I guess something interesting is Wadafaka actually did go for a 1 extra point in Invoke instead of more quas, so he's actually trying to be more active a little bit earlier, or at least needs to know if there's anything, because a 5-second cooldown on Invoke can make a big difference if you're being ganked or if the game is kind of getting away from you. If you can't really get away with only having Cold Snap, Forward Spirits, and Sunstrike invoked, usually what most invokers will try to do is they'll leave that level 1 and invoke until level 11 or so, and then they'll basically only have Cold Snap and Forward Spirits invoked, and then if there's an opportunity to Sunstrike, they invoke and Sunstrike, because if you see anyone, most of the time you can just Cold Snap and Forward Spirit and you can turn a fight, and if you really need to, you can Ghost Walk, so you're always one spell away. But getting this extra point in invoke is pretty interesting to me, because he delays getting the double Forward Spirit until level 11, which you really need a big trade-off for.
Yeah, they've been decently active in trying to go after him, so I can understand the second point. And I mean, I don't know. The other heroes on his team are also helping make space, so he doesn't really necessarily need to be online as early as normal. I don't know. Maybe. Well, I mean, you still want it, obviously. So it's just, I guess, a personal decision. I don't know. There's really not a whole lot more to it, I guess, but I don't know. We'll have to see how it turns out. And well,
If we
Rubik's
have a
getting
game.
called. So yeah, hopefully he comes back at some point. That'd be beneficial for sure.
I don't know, playing Dota is nice when you have
People in it.
Yeah.
I'm really
I
excited
have
for this
seen
Vendetta
games where it's
game,
been a
though.
4v5 and they just micro the last person in pro settings.
Oh man, I've lost too many 5v4s. Like one was enough. Never again.
I remember
But-
that happened one time where there was a Meepo that disconnected, and fortunately I was playing AA, so I was like able to micro the Meepo, but God, that game was really hard. We won.
Good job. You did it.
Oh, wow, thanks.
You did. I'm complimenting you, but
No,
oh, God.
I don't know.
You never know. I'm never straight with you. Oh my goodness.
Well, I mean, maybe if you had like inflection or something.
Nah, man. I am a monotone man. Go play. I guess we're gonna. What? All right, they're gonna take their chances here.
I mean, this is a guy you need to make plays, man.
I don't know.
You can't have Chen Chen's a micro-intensive hero. So is Invoker. I guess.
Dude, it's just one more creep.
One more creep with 4 abilities, and
It's
potentially every other ability of the enemy team.
He does actually currently have 2 actives because he has the Shadow Poison release as well. So I guess that's.
The funniest thing is whenever Doom eats a creep, and then he uses that ability, and you get to steal your spell from Doom, so you get something like the Centaur Stomp or the Raised Dead. I don't know, it's just funny to me.
Yep. And, well, looks like we're gonna give it a shot. Internet down for Reeves. So. Well, we'll see how this pans out. I'd reckon not great.
I reckon
but-
not. I mean,
They are ahead.
let me look at
But-
the standings real quick. Next.kz, okay, yeah, they are sitting at 2 and 4, so
Their 2 wins are 2 forfeit losses from the defunct Sigma team, so they're technically 0 and 4.
yeah, so I mean, I guess they don't have much to lose. I don't really know.
Well, yeah, I don't know. They are ahead in this game though, and they won
Well,
the last game, so I'm sure they'd like to win. I don't know.
Well,
it's
Equal is
still
going to be
early
the one going ahead and
this season.
controlling the Rubik, so it looks like he's just going to roam around and control him as another creep. So that's going to be those StarCraft skills going to be helping him out there.
And hopefully he comes back at some point here. I mean, just don't know how long the internet's going to be down, and next game is like not going to make Goomba wait, I guess.
Yep. I would also like to take this time to mention, by the way, Sweaty Weather, he's going to be ganked. He has an Infest, though. Lifestealer's too broken. He has a Rage as well. He's just farming because there's a Vendetta, so. I just
Yeah,
also
A's there
wanted to
at the
point
top.
out
Tower is
that
under attack.
TCN versus Hehe is going to be going on at Heflatv 2. That's the other Division 1 Europe game that we were planning on streaming, but this series is taking a little bit longer. So if you want to watch that game, go ahead and head on over to twitch.tv/Heflatv2. Just one different from what you're currently watching right now. So that's it, and we'll go ahead and get on back to the game after that announcement.
Yep, and, well, yeah, bottom lane, nothing ended up happening. They wanted to go for a
Top lane,
Sunstrike.
chill.
Oh,
He has a bug on him.
Dyer's
There's a
top
Gemini
tower
attack
is
as well.
under
Mantis,
attack.
I mean, you can dive. You have time lapse.
Killing
he's got it.
spree. Own
you just
it.
can't, well, with the start he has, like, you can't just, I don't know. They can't leave anyone here by themselves against this hero now. The damage is a bit much with Agi Treads, and he's going to have a Linken's here really soon, assuming that's what he goes for, and
Radiant's bottom
against
tower is
their
under
team.
attack.
Yeah, that's probably what they'll do. They'll help against disruptions, so.
I mean, Disruption, Demonic Purge.
Dyer's
Basically,
middle tower
the
is
power
under
of
attack.
Linken's on Weaver doesn't just come from saying, like, well,
Dyer's structures are fortified.
yeah, everyone benefits from the regen and stats. That's just a fact. You're going to benefit from regen and stats from the Linken Sphere, but the beauty of it on Weaver in particular is just whenever there's any single target initiation and it pops immediately, you just Sakuchi. It's like a Sakuchi alarm, and
Yes.
then they can't catch you, and then even if they do, you can time-lapse out almost anything, so it just increases your survivability so much. And also, Chill, he doesn't have too much survivability, as is a Vendetta, and there's an Impale. The bug is on him as well. There's Sakuchi, but being body blocked there by Stalcat doesn't matter. And actually, Wadafaka seals it with a Sunstrike, so still, even with Reeves out, Chen's doing a pretty good job, and the
Dyer's
3 core is
top
doing
tower
work
is
for
under
Exium
attack.
here.
And, well, Ice Blast onto Mantis, not going to tick down to this. Gets decently close, but he'll be just fine. And, yeah, Shikuchi just lets him get out of... Like, they just need to stop bothering disrupting him,
middle
almost.
tower
I
is under
mean,
attack.
obviously they want to kill him. That would be nice, but... Oh, because this runs by a Sentry Ward while invised up. Might be in a bit of trouble here.
Dyer's
Impale going to fly as well, and
bottom
that's...
tower is under
Well, we didn't expect that to
Own
happen.
it. Radiant's middle
we sure
tower is
didn't.
under attack.
And Equal just give this man a medal, because he's been playing his heart out both games.
It's just, dude, it's just not the creep, man.
I know, but still, just the Witch Doctor play and everything.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, he's
come on,
done.
he was
Yeah,
the
he
carry
has done
last
great.
game.
Middle tower is
Mantis
under attack.
could go down to this ice blast actually. He
He's
time lapses out a lot of. I gets a lot of health
Dyer's
back.
bottom tower
I did not know
is
that
under
actually worked.
attack.
What?
So if you time lapse, you gain health from.
You get the health back, but you don't get the...
Yeah, you don't get the debuff off
It doesn't
of you, but like.
debuff. It doesn't debuff the debuff, I guess. Unbuff. Dispel. There we go. That's what I'm looking for.
But like,
But yeah.
if you time lapse and there's rupture, like you still take the damage from rupture. I don't know.
You don't take the... No, you keep taking... When you get ruptured, the effect is still on you. You don't take the damage from the distance traveled. You just go somewhere else with maybe more health and rupture still on you.
There was a Sentry Ward mid lane as Nick tried to come in. Stalkat, he's going to be counter-initiated on the Ice Blast is there, but he uses the Spiked Carapace to buy himself a lot of space. Whirling Axes and Shadow Poison is on him though, but Mantis comes in. There's the wall. There's a vacuum. It catches 3 and what stop? Oh my gosh, all of them are so low. Chen has to go out. He pops out the Hand of God, but Sweater Weather, he's going to be throwing the open wounds on Wadafaka. He does not have Ghost Watch. Now he does. He's going to be able to pop it now. So, and but there's a Dust. Wadafaka's going to go down. There's a Satyr Blast as well, but the Infest into the Chain Creep is going to be helping out Sweater Weather. Mantis, he's going after Nino. He manages to kill him. He's down on a dominating streak, but Weaver, he's got his soul caught. No, there's an Impale on the near. It's still 2v3. These two bugs are trying to take on 4. They're so low. I think they can get it. There's a defensive disruption. Double kill. The Satyr Blast is going to get chill 1 second. And, no, it's juked, but Mantis gets a triple kill on the back.
Mantis, I was just watching him that entire fight. He played that perfectly. Like, he could have been dead there a lot of times as well, and instead he managed to weave in and out, pun intended, finding just kills left and right. He looked... What? Well, he just time-lapsed for no reason, but we can ignore that. But, that was just absurd in that fight. He played perfectly.
Weaver's your bro, man. When
He is, and I
is he
love watching
inspiring
stuff
you?
like that, well. That was a sick fight for him. That was really fun to watch for me.
This is why, like, back when Weaver and Lifestealer were just the heroes to pick about a year ago, I just really liked playing them because they're so aggressive. They have so much survivability. People are just so, like, especially watching people like Havos and Loda, there's just so much action early on.
They both have spells that let them just kind of dart in and out of fights. Because Rage, you want to, like, you run in with Rage on, you get a couple shots off. Oh, there's a... Oh, well, AA got a lot of gold.
Yeah, that's nuts.
And
But
maybe a bit greedy from Mantis on that one, but...
he is pretty squishy, at the very least. Also,
Yeah.
Rubik got to steal Infest. He can
That's,
now Infest into Chen.
This is...
Or Weaver.
That'll make the
Or
micro
Nyx.
easier.
This is so fun when you get the steal Infest. You hardly ever get it just because right after he pops out, usually you just open wounds right away. I actually just does it for show now, but
Exactly. I'm just like, oh, all right.
gotta
It's like,
show
"Here,
him
guys,
you
look
need
what I
business.
did."
Hey Chen, know what I can do to you? Yeah, I mean,
I'll show you the color of your insides. Oh, it's not may not be the place for you, Nino. I don't know about this.
Sentry Ward discovers Nyx. Oh my god, it's like the Dota
wait
2
a
report. Sunstrike is going to be there. Disruption going to
nice
buy him the space, so avoids the Sunstrike. And it looks like Stallcat's going to have to TP away.
Yep. Nice disruption there. Vacuum a little bit late to the party there, chill. But yep. Nice heads up disruption. Weaver might be a bit careful running into these heroes again.
He has time lapse. He's fine.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
By the way, bottom lane exists. He gets initiated on. He pops a battle trance as well. Reeves is there. He's already used both his spells and he steals battle trance. God, the E-call. What? You man.
He's been ridiculous this game.
This is just I just want to put the camera on Equal. Like I want to see his player perspective. I don't want to watch anything else right now because he's getting the big steal. He's playing two really hard heroes at the same time. Arguably the highest skill cap supports, like at least in the top 10.
Yep. And well, Mantis running by the ward. He'll know it's there because the creeps attack him. Doesn't really care. He's just farming away and hold this bottom lane push. I mean, this Necro. What does he have? Level 1, and he's level 2 on the stash, so with another tower, Waterfuck has got his Necro 3, which is the style you said you don't like seeing as much, but it is
it's effective. It gives you the most damage.
It's not as much.
I'm just saying, like, it's not like this style is particularly bad. It's just in comparison to most of the other styles of Invoker, like Blink Orchid and stuff, it's just not as fun to watch because the others are so good.
Bottom lane.
Yeah, chill. Battle Trance is going to be used. Weaver doing so much damage. Mantis, he's going to be going for near those. Sakuchi's right past him. Gets the attack as well. And he's going to be there. And he gets a double kill almost. But Sweater Weather, he's going to be trying to go on the Nyx Assassin as well as Exist. But the mech and the Hand of God buy some space. Here comes the Meatball. Sweater Weather, he's in retreat mode now as well as Exist. Who is Mantis going to go on? I don't know. But there is a Sentry Ward popped. And they're both retreating to the high ground and recover their tier 3s. And this tier 2, looking nice and delicious.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah, they should get this in. This will help Weaver a lot. And right now, once he gets his first damage item, these fights are going to get a lot harder for Goomba as well. Because right now he's unkillable, but doesn't really have the damage quite yet. But he can work towards a Desolator or something like the Curry. He's got
a Mithril Hammer on the Courier already.
Yeah, so he's going Desolator, I would assume, with that. And it'll help him kill towers a lot easier as well. And I mean, with the start that they have, I think this is the right item choice. It's an item I get on this hero typically after Lincolns, but some people go for MKB, but you don't really need to do it that early against this
team. When you're ahead, Deso just does so much more damage.
It's true. Because the other heroes are squishier in relation, and the minus armor is just ridiculous. So with the Necro 3 on top of that,
it's pretty cheap as well, and the minus armor from the Forge Spirits as well as the attack speed from the Alacrity, a Deso is like a third less expensive, so... that Hellbear Smasher just... I don't know why it was so funny. He was in mid-clap animation to try to like last hit Rosh, I guess, and Rosh just bashed him and killed him.
Dire structures are fortified.
Poor Hellbear Smasher. And Chen's going for a Vlad's as well, so that makes his push right now even stronger. And this is
Dire's top tower
they want to make things happen right now. And that's what this Vlad's will.
I mean, when you're playing with one hero DC'd,
we gotta get more auras, make life easier on yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. This guy's got 4.5. They can't buy items for him.
It's fine. He's got arcane boots though.
He has 4.2k gold that they can't use.
Yep, he's rich.
I don't know, man. This Rubik's gonna buy a Radiance when he comes back in the game.
Oh god, yeah. I hope he comes back at some point, but I also kind of don't because this has been really funny. So we'll see how it turns out. And well, Weaver looking for maybe a bit of a pickoff here. With the Milthor Hammer has a bit more damage to deal, so he might be able to find someone on the back line. He's gonna try and he's just scooching around this tree. I don't know, man. But
he pops the Lincolns on himself, which actually doesn't do anything.
It's fine, man. It's fine. But
it's just a button to press. Hey,
look at me, I have Lincolns, idiots. But yeah, I mean, like, it's gonna be hard for Goomba to really fight this. Ice Blast will help them start off, but can they actually run in after this? They need like a ridiculous blink wall at some point, and the start here is really close to a blink dagger.
Well, he's about 100 gold off from the blink, so he just doesn't have it to say. If he dies, he's going to be really far. The level 1 Wex tornado doing like nothing.
Almost got him. But yeah, I mean, they're just going to back off. This Desolator's pretty close to done. It has the hammer done, and just needs 900 gold for his recipe, and then he'll have it up. but Invoker's being a real asshole and stealing all his farms, so he's going to leave. Yeah, he's got a nice juicy lane down bottom with a ton of range creeps to farm up to, so he'll be really damn close after this wave.
Yeah, I think he'll probably have it as well. And it's just good that they're going for the siege tower sort of A move sort of style. I think that that's going to be certainly in their best interest. But Darkseer does pick up the Blink Dagger, so team fighting is going to get a lot harder now, as there is going to be the Blink infest with the Darkseer as well as the wall. And with an AA blast on top of it, it's pretty difficult. Rubik does pick up an Invis rune. 4.8k in the bank, by the way, top lane. Looks like there's a Disruption Soul Catcher on the Stallcat. He's going to go down. There's a Cold Feet proc as well. He ticks out the Shadow Poison, so a little bit out there, pushing that top lane. But Space Courier for bottom, I guess.
Yeah, there's no tower here to kill at the tier 2 level, so it doesn't really matter that much, but I mean, I don't know. They're going to push towards high ground. They do still have the Aegis. Yes, they do. They have it for another 3 minutes, it looks like, so definitely a lot of time to maybe go high ground if they want to, and with the lead that they have with this Desolator done, they can certainly give it a shot. They want this Nyx Assassin back, obviously, but even with the lead that they have, going high ground against the Darkseer AA is going to be pretty difficult, and this Aegis is something that they will need to do it, I think, but I don't know. We'll see if they do decide to go for it. There's a tier 2 top they can still take as well, so if they want to play it safe, they have that option available to them as well.
I mean, they have the Vlads, they have the Necro 3, they have the Aegis as well, they have the Desolator. I think the time is really now.
Desla's on the courier, so I think they certainly could go for it.
I mean, if Rubik could spend his 5.1k, maybe it would be a little bit easier. There's going to be a just a spell steal. He's actually just going to steal Whirling Axes, Reeves. Well, never mind. He's actually just going to send himself home.
He's going to send himself home. Oh my goodness. What a play. Oh god, well.
Jill wants to chase this, though. There's a
just wants to take this fight. Look at the Desolator output damage. It's just ridiculous. And Goomba's not like a squishy guy, and he took a lot of damage from this, just like one right click from the Desolator, but oh, Mantis can try and maybe man fight Sweaterweather. Sweaterweather's like,
I mean, look at that damage, and like,
oh my god.
He's already in negative armor. There's a Sunstrike as well, but there was a defensive disruption to buy time. Mantis is gonna go for this. Like, I mean, if you can't protect him, AA, you're so squishy. There's a vacuum as well, but
what did they do?
He's manning up on 4 here. Okay, maybe that's a bit much. Time lapse is going to be fine. But no, Salka comes in, he hits the impale, but Sweaterweather was able to rage it off. Rubik gets the steal on the rage as well. So now he has some magic immunity. But now with the time lapse down, there's a Hand of God to buy him some time exists. He's going to go down. Maybe one last bug will finish him off. There's a zoning wall. And there's the impale as well from Chill. And Reese, he's going to have to walk through that wall at some point. Yes, he does. But Wadafaka gets the double kill. Mantis, he gets the double kill as well. There's a buyback coming out from Chill. But it's only going to be 2. And there's going to be a GG. 21-9. And XAM are going to be able to take to 2-0.
Mantis just like he made them use all their spells and just like completely discombobulated them. There was no way they could fight in a coordinated fashion. They all had no mana, were running to the hills, and then just the chase from X Game was there as well. So, well, they win the game with the DC'd Rubik. So mad props to Equal for controlling him during that time and finding
definitely
kills
the MVP of the series, going on that incredible Witch Doctor in the last game, and then playing both heroes. And he only had Arcane Boots on Rubik. Like, it's maybe a different thing if Rubik has a Blink Dagger and a Magic Stick as well on top of that, as far as the survivability and the ability to make plays. But he stole Battle Trance, he stole Rage, he stole Infest, he stole a lot of really good spells, and just definitely MVP of the game for me was Equal.
Yeah, and he also helped give the Space Top and got the Ganks Top to allow Mantis to snowball the way he did and control the game. So, yeah, mad props to Equal this series. He was fantastic.
Yep. Well, that's going to be it for us, everyone. Make sure you tune over to the next joinDOTA series over on Heflatv 2. Once again, I am Roxas. With me is Don Horatio. If you want to follow us or hate on us on Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter at CallMeRoxas. You can follow Don Horatio at Don Horatio. And if you liked this tournament, you like these teams, please make sure that you support them, Goomba and X Game, and also the joinDOTA League, which you can find more information on joinDOTA.com. So that's it for me. You got any closing comments, Kyle?
No, you about covered it. I don't have much more else to say.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for joining me once again. Thank you, everyone, for watching at home, and we'll see you next time.